Hey, welcome back. So, what I have for you guys today is by far the weirdest, most complex RTA I've ever seen. I am talking about the Vandy Vape Widowmaker RTA. Not the RTA, the RTA. So, let's set it all up so I can give you guys a breakdown. Okay, so here it is, the Vandy Vape Widowmaker RTA, and this one is made by El Mono Vapeador, which is from Spain, as you can see here. El Mono Vapeador. So if you open the box, this is what we get. We get the top of the RTA, we got the post deck, and we got two extra airflow controllers and one bubble glass. Alright, so before I get into that, let's put this on the side. We also get two coils, which are triple fused Clapton coils, which is always a big plus. This is also an indication, because these are beefy coils, this is also an indication that this takes really big coils, which is a good thing. If you want to go for your customizations, etc. You got your bag of goodies with the extra O-ring, the Allen key, some adapters and some screws, which is the usual. We got this really interesting Jigima bulb, which is for you to measure the cutting of your coils and stuff. It's the first time I've ever seen one of these, so weird as well. Your instruction manual, as usual. This actually, I had to read this to understand how this thing actually works, so that's a first one for me. We also got a qualified certificate, warranty and stuff, and some extra advertisement stuff showing all the colors that's possible. Unfortunately, I wanted to get the gunmetal black, but it was out of stock, so I got stuck with the aluminum one. Alright, so going into it. So this has a lot of moving parts and it's complicated by nature, but hopefully we'll get this one right. So first things first, you got your drip tip that if you actually, so if you flick it forwards and backwards, actually the drip tip comes out. To get the top off to refill, it's literally just twist and pops out. If you want to back in, it's just get here and twist it back. Alright, so pretty straightforward. You got your glass, you got your airflow control here, and also it comes with not only airflow control, it also comes with juice flow control, which is actually to control how much juice actually flows into the wells, which is awesome, an awesome idea. Here on the side you get your honeycomb airflow, and also these little dots here. So let's just focus this a little bit more. These little dots here, they're actually what you can use to measure the juice flow control. As you can see, I'm going to do it again. So it's fully closed, and now, as you can see, it is opening, and I'm going to close it now, and as you can see, it is closing. And this is all controlled by this. You see this little edge here, this little looks like a button, and you align it with these holes here to get your adjustable liquid flow, and then you actually, this just rotates just for you to use as your airflow control, which is a really nice idea. Okay, and then you have your posts here, and the posts also have an airflow control right here at the bottom. So as you can see, there's a lot of moving parts here, and so this, you can actually rotate everything without affecting the airflow, and only once you get everything assembled you can actually rotate this one a little bit better to control the airflow. As a rule of thumb, always leave it quite open. So now let's have a look at the post itself. Look, the post, it's like postless actually, it's just flat. We get a nice airflow for the bottom aspects. The wells are big, or actually quite big, for you to put the cotton. And here on the inside, if I just take this off, and I'm just going to disassemble all of this. Okay, as you can see here, this is where the liquid goes through, and from here as well. It's a really interesting design. That, as I was saying, it's a really interesting design. Because usually on the standard RTA, once everything is built, usually the glass is around this area here. In this case, actually, the liquid is set on top of the coils, so it is a weird concept, which I've never seen. But interesting enough, the amount of times I've tried this, I actually pulled the crap out of this, never got a dry hit at all, and I was gunning for it. So let's put some coils in this, some cotton, and then see how it behaves. So and for this I'm going to use the coils that come with it. Okay, so I've pre-cut the actual coils. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time, so I'm just going to slide it right in and then tighten this up from the sides. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Let me just zoom this in a little bit more for you guys. Okay, tighten this one out. And then just grab myself a little something. So, just getting this. The downside I've seen with this, it's a little bit of a con in my opinion, is with so many moving parts, you know, when you're usually twisting the coil just to get it aligned, everything just starts rotating. So, keep an eye on it. It's not the end of the world, but it's just one of those, like, let's call it a pet hate. And on this one, just gonna get all done. I don't want to spend too much time, so I'm just gonna do, like, you know, the standard stuff. I'm not gonna spend too much time getting if the coils are ready or not, just for the sake of not having a too long a video. You guys will have, if you guys buy one of these, you'll have plenty of time to play around with it and tinker it around. Alright, so seems pretty good. Let's give it the final tightening. And for this, now to get the try, I'm going to use my Geek Vape Aegis. As you can see, it actually rotates, because there's so many moving parts, actually rotates until, and it's not fully attached to the actual mod. So as you can see, now it is fully attached to the mod, but this rotates freely. Okay, so now let's give it a couple of shots. There you go. And then for the cotton, I am going to be using that white stuff. I love this because it just soaks and retains the liquid for a long time. And I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit because I don't want to spend too much time working on the wicking this. And now we fluff it a little bit. Everyone has their own way of wicking stuff, of wicking their coils and everything else, so it's all down to you. If you want to take an hour doing this, or if you want to take 5 minutes, it's all down to you. And for liquid, we're going to be using the 12 Monkeys Barnogurt, which is something else that you just got recently. Like, fill this in, let it soak. Okay, it's soaked a little bit too much. Okay, and now that we've put your liquid in, we're actually going to use a little bit of liquid just to get these O-rings a little bit saturated. So it just, because there's a lot of moving parts, we just want it to move freely. Last thing you want to have is, like, you know, stuff stuck. So there you go. As you can see now, this all rotates quite freely. Okay, and now we're good to attach this and then just start tightening it. One of the things I've actually done is I've learned that if you actually rotate the airflow, it actually tightens everything up. Because if you're going to start rotating this and this, it just doesn't work properly. So if you just use this trick and just tighten from the bottom, there you go, all done. And then if you want to unscrew everything, you just put it counterclockwise. So there you go. And now we're going to put the glass here. Just rotate a little bit. There you go. Now we put the liquid in. And now you just put the top. And there you go, good to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the liquid flow control. So I'm going to put this pin here that you guys see. I'm going to move it all the way down to this area, which is almost there. So you grab the glass and use this to rotate. So as you can see, now it's fully open. If I wanted it closed, I would just rotate this way, and I would just, as you can see, and then now you can adjust your airflow. But I want to have the liquid fully opened. There you go. And I'm going to have my airflow fully open as well. So I'll just grab this. And there you go. It's easier to do when you're not trying to get this on a camera, but there you go. And I'm also having the airflow at the bottom fully opened. So now let's give it a couple of puffs. Alright, so a moment of truth. I'm going to be vaping this at 60 watts, and that's how it goes. Not bad, not bad. I can still feel a little bit of the flavor that the coils left, so this most likely will only gonna get better with usage. But I did use this before, I have to come clean, and you cannot get a dry hit on this thing. Literally, you can suck as much as you want, and I don't know how this works, if it's the way the juice flow control works, or if it's the double air flows, but I just could not get a dry hit of this, so let's give it a try. Nope, no dry hit. Now, I've seen some people complaining that this is just too tall. Yes, it is, but at the end of the day, it's not that big. If you have a pen mod, like the Smoke Pen Nord, I believe, I don't know, the one that looks like a pen, this is just an extra edition. Looks nice. On my Geek Vape, it doesn't look completely weird. Maybe on my double barrel it will look better. But yeah, so the size, it's not a big con for me. What I have to consider as being a con here would be it kills the flavor a little bit. I've tried with really strong flavors, I've tried with mild flavors, and yes, it does kill a little bit of the flavor. Maybe it's the build that it has with all this airflow, or the fact it restricts the airflow a little bit, but yeah. I love the options that you can actually have the circular or like the bullet-shaped airflows, the extra tank. Vandy Vape always does it really well with this, and the fact that you have so many options to do this, like the customization app, like the customization potential for this is just amazing. Doesn't give you too many clouds, but hey. So either way, this is all I have for you guys today, so check it out, the Vandy Vape Widowmaker RTA, and if you like this video, don't forget to do the standard complimentary things, click like and subscribe, and I shall see you all next week.